Yo, yo, yo. How you guys doing? My name always Stephen Lusteris, and with me is my cousin Walter Cerrato.
What's up?
So today we are here to kind of just record and have fun on a video that I came up with was just a top 10 or a top 5 celebrity crush of all time, female for us. Sorry, people, if you're in here for other things. Sorry.
We can do guys.
Yeah, we can do it. We can do actors.
Crushes. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
I think I could come up with 2. Truly, without even trying to sound like a hardo, I could come up with 2 that I'd be like, I understand why. I'll name it right now: Zac Efron and
teaser
and Michael B. Jordan.
That's
Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
My girl, take her. I understand.
Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's a dog.
And Christian Bale.
You're a Christian guy for sure.
Love Christian Bale. Ryan Gosling.
Oh, Gosling.
He's got the looks, but he's a hell of an actor too.
Reynolds even.
Oh yeah.
Ryan Reynolds even.
He's got the total package.
We could actually come up with just people that we think are cool that we can hang out with. But anyway,
but this is the ladies edition.
Yeah, ladies edition, like just our celebrity crushes throughout the years, and we went with 5 each. And this is where the idea makes it fun for me, was the idea of making it like a wine bottle edition where, say you pick Christina Aguilera, like, okay, we all know she's gorgeous, but we have so many views of her already in our mind of different years and different eras almost, and it was kind of like, I want one specific year, almost one specific role almost, or appearance, performance, something that we talked about, and it's an athlete, artist, whatever, clearly a freaking actor, and honestly anybody, just a celebrity person that we're not going to name some people that are from Massillon, Ohio, and we throw some people out there, so we don't want to do that, but.
So, and not necessarily, so, if it were that year bottle of wine.
Exactly.
To go, but it's not necessarily, and we're both big Bill Simmons fans, so you could play a drinking game with every time we say peak of their powers.
Yeah, facts.
But it's not necessarily like the year that maybe they're at their absolute height. Maybe it wasn't the year that they won a Grammy or they won the Academy Award. It's the year that for us individually, we were maybe first introduced to them, or that they had their highest appeal with us.
Like almost as almost like that preteen era, teenager, like early man, like where you're like, oh, that girl rubs me a different way, sexually, just her performance, anything. So like you always hear people, like we always make fun of our, like when we're growing up, we make fun of our parents or those rich people you always see in movies of like, oh, I want that 1964 whatever Pinot Grigio, like. So I'm happy you brought that up because it's only personal to you.
It's completely subjective, right?
So trust me, the movies that I'm gonna name, we're probably gonna laugh about how bad they are, and it's like, why'd you even watch it? But it's like, hey, dude, like this is where that girl just does it for me. So which I'm happy to really dive into. And this could spring off into everything, dude. We could, because I mean, I've even seen, to go back to Simmons, I've seen him do like a wine, like kind of like all-time greatest team. Like of just NBA players, he's picks like put them together. We can do it for actors, anything, movies, songs, albums. We can do it. We can do a lot of things. And I've been talking sports for a while in the last couple of weeks. So I kind of wanted to change it up and go with something like this where it's more fun.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, dude. So I think we decided that we're gonna go with the top 10, but it's our top 5. So we're just gonna mix them together. Like clearly, I think he'll probably go first, so we got the snake draft order, but his 5 is number 10 and mine's number 9, and then we go down. But it's pretty simple, and dude, I'm happy to see, because this is the thing, this isn't where it's like our top 10 greatest basketball players where we're going to be arguing here like over LeBron, Jordan, Kobe, it's going to be just purely like, wow, I like to see where you're coming from. For me, this is why I kind of was like, dude, I need to do this with somebody else.
So you approached me with this idea. And it took me a second to wrap my mind around what you were saying, but I got to be honest, like I learned a bit about myself doing this research for this. And you have to laugh at yourself because you go back and you look through and you can kind of say, wow, why was I attracted, or why did I find this woman appealing at this time in my life? Sometimes you can just attribute it to, hey, you're a teenage boy that's raging hormones. You're looking at women differently than you have in your entire life. And it's pretty obvious. But sometimes there's a different level of appeal, and it's interesting what I learned about myself and where I am in life. And I want to say this. I don't know if you encountered this as you were kind of doing your research, but I think I reached a point in my life, probably early 20s early to mid 20s where you kind of realize, hey, I'm never going to be famous.
No, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think like there's that point when you're like a teenager or like maybe even in your early 20s or whatever, where you're like, hey, there's like, maybe if I'm in, LA at the right time,
Just that
maybe.
one chance.
Maybe.
I went to her concert
kind of,
and she could see me in the 15th row up there or whatever, yeah.
And I think as you get older, you just kind of, as I've gotten older, these women and men, anyone we talk about that has a high level of success, it's just more of a respect thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's right? What I'm happy. Yeah, because like if this is the other thing we were talking about too, which I'm happy you brought that up, because it's like this list. We could have changed this up. We could have made this 3 different lists of like when we were the pre-teen era, where you're just now with your, like you're saying, your hormones are just not getting to you. Yeah. You could have it where you're full teenage, like almost graduating high school, like crushes where you're starting to like look at women differently and just like more beauty, And then, like now where we have so much respect for women, and it's like, I think we're gonna be shocked by each other's list too, because it's not. That's the other thing I want to like. It's not going to be like the top 5 most gorgeous of all time to everybody. It's not like Marilyn Monroe is going to be on my list. No offense. No. Like, I mean, I'm sorry, Britney Spears' toxic music video is not going to be on this list like it would have been when I was 12 because, oh my God, she showed some boob and it's like, let's go. And Janet Jackson's Super Bowl, halftime, that when I was a little kid, first boob I've seen. And that would have made it on my list then, but now it's not even in.
A cable boob.
Yeah.
That's a rare thing.
Thank you, Justin Timberlake, by the way. Thank you. Rare thing. That's the most. They ruined Super Bowl halftime performances forever, but it was worth it. If I'm being honest with you, it's worth it. As a little kid, like, oh my God. And my mom's like, oh, that was planned. It's a fake boob. And it's like, no.
Isn't that why there's like an 8-second delay now on live?
I think it's like TV. 4 or 5.
Okay. I don't know.
But it is. But I mean, 5 seconds delay is a long time for. I think about that all the time. Not to like get off this list because we're going to pretty much dive into it pretty hard. But like, I was watching the UFC fights over the weekend. Yeah. And, I may or may have not illegally streamed them, and I was thinking when it was pausing, and we got the little leg. I'm sitting here like in real time. This fight could be over in the next by the time the leg's over, it could be over in real life, and I'm thinking about everybody going nuts, and I'm sitting there like, but in my reality, it's not even there yet, so I don't know what happened yet. So it's pretty funny how that stuff goes, but dude, yeah. So I know we have a couple honorable mentions, which I think we'll get into probably around.
You want to get yours first?
No, I want to do. I don't know if you're okay with this. I don't want to say it like this, but like I say, we name off our first 3 each, or our first 6, and after that 5th one that we when we're about to announce the 4th, we'll do like maybe 1 honorable or 2 honorable mentions each, and then right before we get our number 1s each, we could probably get wild. So with that being said, dude, I want you to break this bitch open, crack the ice.
My number 5.
Yeah, which is number 10 on our list, but his number 5.
My number 5 vintage wine year for a female celebrity, right? And we said it could be any athlete, it could be an actress, anything. It could be a singer, it could be, I guess even a politician, influencer, whatever. My number 5, Elena Donne. Am I pronouncing that right? Donne? Is it Donne?
I like it. I like that.
Starting forward for the Washington Mystics of the WNBA. And the year I picked for her, this was a little tough for me. I picked the year 2015.
Wow.
Okay.
Is that rookie year?
I believe second year.
Second year?
Second year, maybe. Okay. Yeah, I believe it was her second year. So I have this theory that there's things, like you said, we learned a little bit about ourselves here.
Oh, yeah.
I've always been a sucker for a female that's athletic.
Oh, yeah.
And basketball is my favorite sport. She's a basketball player, so there's really no, it's probably no shocker there's a basketball player on my list.
I like that pick a lot.
She could absolutely destroy me on the basketball court. There's no point in my life
posting you up, making you feel like a little kid.
No, she's 6'5". Obviously, she's gorgeous. She's beautiful.
Beautiful woman.
She can ball out of control. She's a 2-time WNBA MVP. She won the championship 2019 with the Washington Mystics. So there's obviously the appeal there, the athleticism. Obviously, she has the good looks. I think one of the things that really was appealing to me about her was she has the little sister. No, I'm sorry, her older sister, Lizzie. I don't know if you know this story.
I don't think I do.
Her older sister, Lizzie or Elizabeth, is blind, deaf, and has autism.
Oh, I see. I see.
And she,
okay.
she is a champion for her older sister. She cares for her, takes after her. She got her own signature shoe through Nike. That is that fly ease.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That kind of the back opens up, so
it's easier
athletes,
to see.
athletes that might have some physical disabilities can wear these shoes. I saw that. I saw the story and everything. Nike ran a commercial. I can't, maybe a couple years ago, and she was in it, and it's like a minute-long commercial, tearjerker. So obviously she can ball. She's very good-looking,
very gorgeous. Yes,
and off the court, she's promoting her family. She's promoting that class of people that don't get enough promotion and don't have enough people out there being a champion for them. So for these reasons. Elena Delle Donne is my number 5. The only member of the 50-40-90 club in WNBA. The first member of the 50-40-90 club, WNBA history.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stuff.
That's very impressive. Yeah, to go into that real quick too, because I remember that actually, because it was I think it was her senior year of college or whatever. They played all 4 years of girls, right? I don't want to sit here and say because she might have left after 3 years, whatever. Yeah. But her last year in college, I remember that she was going into the draft. And they made that story for her. Mm-hmm. And I work with people with disabilities, as you know, so that stuff always gets me close to those athletes and everyone. So
interesting note, the one thing I want to share, she is the only one on my list that is younger than me, which I found kind of interesting.
Dude, I can't lie to you. I think every single one of them is older than me.
I put down she's the only one on my list. She's about 2 years younger than me.
So if I had to, I didn't put an athlete on there. It was tough because I was thinking of some. But if I had to go with one, Skylar Diggins was my girl.
Right. Justified.
Girl. But anyway, all right, she didn't make the list. So
you're number 5.
All right, dude. So this one's not going to be that big of a shock for you. It might be that big of a shock for you that it comes this soon. And I was tossing and turning on even throwing her in there because a couple years ago she was number 1. This was number 1 for young Steven Musteris here going into the pretty much getting ready freshman year of high school. You know what I'm saying? So this is my number 1 crush as starting to be an adult. You're getting away from the Topanga Lawrences in life, Yep. So I'm going with the 2009 Classic Taste, which we've already talked about, but it was just one of my examples for you. But the 2009 Transformers 2, Megan Fox. And I honestly, she was about to miss my list, but I had to be honest with myself. Like you said, we learned a lot about ourselves because right now it's easy to go and look at all these the different options that I was picking from. It's easy to pick newer ones, like that newer taste of wine that I haven't tasted all the time. But then I had to be real with myself, who impacted me almost the most as a young boy, or I should say in a teenage life, because a young boy, I got impacted by a lot of Disney stars, but no, I went with the 2009 Megan Fox just because. The opening scene where she walks in, you kind of slide in or whatever, and she's on the bike, her dad's motorcycle or whatever, getting it ready. I'm talking, that was my screensaver for 6 months before the movie even came out when they got the little, because I'm sure you remember doing that stuff when movies are getting ready to drop, they would drop all the gallery, the images of it stuff, and we would download it, throw them as wallpapers. Oh, yeah. And man, she touched me away, because it was honestly between that and Transformers 1 with me for her, which, it's easier to say you go with the older one where she's getting more mature, because I did write this down too. She was born in 1986, so in 2009 she was going to be 22, turning 23, depending on how it worked. So 23-year-old Megan Fox to me was number 1 of all time of her, and also too it was a little toss up for me too, because Jennifer's Body, terrible movie, but it shows her more sexually. She's if you haven't seen it, she's like a dead girl pretty much. So she's more pale and everything, so she's not maybe as more I don't know how to explain it. Not to
sexualized.
Yeah, not to sound like a dick, but yeah, she's not as pretty, but it's still Megan Fox, and I'm a natural guy as it is, so I almost take that, but I had to be real, and I went with that Megan Fox.
See, I would have thought, and I like that you kind of zagged. Yeah. Right? Because most people, I think, when they would say 07, she first breaks on the scene with the breakout role in Transformers, and that shot in the first Transformers that I think every teenage boy remembers.
Oh, her lip gloss.
Is when they pop open Bumblebee and she's bent over and they should do the slow-mo, she's got the crop top on and everything like that. Sam Witwicky is thinking what every warm-blooded male is thinking. Every straight warm-blooded male is thinking as they're watching that scene.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I remember correctly, he bites his hand or whatever. Because, wow.
That's a good one.
That scene is amazing too. The first one, where Bumblebee throws her into the car, and it's amazing. But I went with that. Which I'm pretty sure you probably would have thought that was a top 3 of mine because it was for a long time. But I'm not here to hate on anyone. But I will say she did drop down quite a few spots in the previous years, like just different ways I've seen her. I don't know. It's nothing towards her. It's nothing she's done. It's just the way she grows more. And honestly, she's lucky she even made the list because you dating MGK right now, girl. It ain't flying.
I was wondering if you were going to bring
It's not flying here. Screw you for that. Because what the heck, girl? I know he's taller than me, but I'm breaking your boyfriend in half with one kick. So, what's up?
Well, didn't she leave her husband for MGK?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What's his, I forget his name. Adam Green, Brian Green, something like that. I forget. But, that was my number 5. Number 9.
Okay.
So, your number 4.
So,
number 8.
My number 4, number 8 overall. I might say his name. You'll be like, who's that? Rashida Jones.
I've heard this name.
Rashida Jones is an actress, comedic actress, I guess. She's done some drama. She's probably best known for her comedy. I picked the year 2009 with her, same year as as Megan Fox. So Rashida Jones, obviously she's gorgeous. She's a very talented actress. But Parks and Rec and The Office. That was kind of the year she was on Parks and Rec the whole time it was on from 2009 to 15 as Karen. And then she was on The Office. Or no, I'm sorry. Parks and Rec, she was Ian Perkins.
Yeah.
Okay. I got that flip-flop.
Yeah,
The Office from 2006 to 2009, she was Karen. I don't know if there was a crossover or she was on both at the same time, but it was really close. But I had 2009 as kind of the crossover year.
Oh, yeah.
She might have been on both. I thought she was hilarious in both. She's always kind of like the it girl in both shows. I thought she was very funny. So I always kind of had a thing for her. Another little throw in here that I forgot about until I did some of this research. She was in 2 sketches of Chappelle's show, The Love Contract. I don't know if you remember this.
Yep, I do.
I'm going to say this, and some people are going to be like, okay, especially with the passing of Kobe Bryant, and a lot of people are, do Kobe. I don't know if people realize where that came from. It started on Chappelle's show.
Oh yeah.
This sketch, The Love Contract, I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, that's where I got Kobe from, honestly.
It's like a 1.5 minute long sketch. He makes this woman sign a non-disclosure agreement, everything like that. They're done. He grabs a condom. Kobe throws it in the trash can. That's where it started. But she was in that, and you kind of forget about that. And I just obviously love Dave Chappelle. I think he's the funniest man ever. Chappelle's show, one of the funniest shows of all time. So she was in both of those. Obviously, Chappelle's show was a little before 2009.
I was going to say,
But Rashida Jones has been on my radar for a long time. I think she's very underrated.
That might be a search for you to throw up real quick for me.
And
just so I can get just to make sure I have the image.
Now, do you have any...
to bounce off real quick, just to bounce off your Chappelle show real quick, just for the intro of some people. Did you know that Bill Burr is in quite a bit of skits?
He was, yes.
Because I had to rewatch them and remember it, because Bill Burr is one of my favorite comedians. But that's what I thought. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's what I thought.
So you thought I was?
Okay. So
that's my number 4.
So because I'm not trying to throw an audible here or anything, but
please do.
I'm blank. Because I love The Office as well, and I feel bad right now for forgetting her name. But the newer front desk girl that comes in, that's the redhead. Oh, I forget her. She's gorgeous though. I think that's my number 1. Because I understand with you there. Trust me, I'm there with you. That girl reminds me of Danielle Fisher from the Halloween movies. She was a little girl in Halloween, and then she was in the Rob Zombie remakes.
That's right. Yeah.
They look a lot like the gorgeous woman. But she's the girl that we're talking about. She's not on my list or nothing, so I don't want to give her too much love right now. But she is beautiful. It's the redhead with she's got the wider cheeks, she's got just the jaw.
Oh boy! See now we got to find it.
This is where we go into real quick. But anyway, you were going to ask me about, I believe, some of Rashida Jones about.
I can't remember her having too many large movie roles. I think she was in I Love You, Man.
Yeah, I love that movie.
That was a funny movie. She was really good in that. Let's see. This is great content right here.
Yeah, this is sorry.
This is where our producer would just be saying, "Hey, book this up for us."
while we're looking this up, I'll go into my number 4.
Yeah,
So
let's hear
it
your
would be number 7 on our list. And this
Ellie
one,
Kemper? Sorry,
Yeah.
Ellie Kemper?
Yep, that's it. By the
Aaron,
way. Yes, yeah, Aaron. She plays Aaron. So this lady right here
You're number 4. That's it.
this is my oldest wine. This is easily my oldest wine, and it's not even close. Like seriously, it's not even close to any of them. So yeah, my oldest wine, and this one because we had a little to go into this real quick. I had a previous conversation when we were breaking this down, and I told you some of my worries were like if I went too young, like if I started off with my very first crushes, then we're talking about 13-year-old girls in their role at that time. So like this was tough, and this one I had to make sure a couple times like to make sure the age was correct and everything. Yeah. So I'm going with a 1993 classic wine here, that my birth year, which for people that don't know as well, this is coming out of season 4 of Saved by the Bell, 1993. Kelly Kapowski, who was played by Tiffani Thiessen, however you want to say it. And this one for me right here, so just so we know too, she was born in 1974, so in 1993 she'd been 19 years old.
Okay.
18 going into.
So 19. She was of age.
So yeah,
you weren't for sure. But she was.
I was a baby, so it makes sense. It's good, but I also, so this one was tough for me as well because clearly this lady goes and gets even more gorgeous when she's in her like early 20s, middle 20s. You know what I'm saying? Like she grows up pretty gorgeous for her age right now. Mm-hmm. But I easily could have went with like a 1999, like 2000 range. But I didn't. It wasn't like specific roles that she did, so it wasn't. I didn't want to just like. It almost would be picking somebody with street clothes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to shout out to AD there, but yeah. So she's street clothes at this rate. So I had to go with the 1993 season 4 Saved by the Bell, which this show for me, there's because Lisa Turtle as well, who is the darker skinned lady on there. I think she's just as gorgeous too. And that show, growing up, was huge for me. Like. I don't know if you were big into Saved by the Bell.
I wasn't really, but I respect its cultural significance.
Yeah, because I went from like watching. Because you go from like watching Roly Poly Oly and stuff growing up as a kid to you dive into these, like for me at that time, diving into Saved by the Bell and Growing Pains and stuff like that. And I remember my sister and I would get on like a really nice, just a little routine where we watch 2 or 3 episodes of Saved by the Bell before school. And I don't know. It's just. Even doing the research on it, and I watched a couple clips from Saved by the Bell just to make sure that because I haven't watched them in a while, so I didn't want to like looks can be deceiving at the time, so I didn't want to come back at it with a new taste and be like, oh, she's actually not that pretty, but girl,
still holds up.
Girl, Tiffani Thiessen, girl, if you're out there still even with your ass, please call me up because I had to go with her. That's number 7, my number 4. So
when you're doing your research, did you check to see like how many of them were married?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm pretty sure every single one of them except well, I guess Megan Fox isn't married, but she was. And then I think maybe one other person on my list that actually is even an honorable mention. So
all right, so that was your number 4.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to do number 3 or do some honorable mentions?
We'll go into number 3. We'll do our 3,
all right,
and then we'll do one honorable mention.
Okay.
Or 2 per if we have a couple.
All right. My number 3, and this kind of goes back to what we talked about at the beginning, like you see different phases of your life. So my number 3, I was exposed to her the summer I'm turning 16 years old. So, I mean, you're a 16-year-old male. There's not a whole lot of other things on your mind than women.
Sports.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of sports, but definitely girl crazy. You got, like we talked about the raging hormones, right? There's like I don't know what this is, but I have this insatiable drive to check out girls all day. Right?
This is 16's the
anything I can do. I don't know how to talk to them. I don't really know how to be in a relationship yet, but I'm nuts about it.
And let's be real. At this time, you're not even talking about them. They're walking by you at school, and you're looking at your friends like, "Oh my God, you see that girl?" Like that's that rate. So I feel you there.
Exactly. So my number 3, and it's strictly off one movie role, just one.
Wow.
Which I kind of like.
Wow.
Which means really strong movie role. Now, obviously, she's been in other films. Highly talented, absolutely gorgeous, like just drop dead gorgeous. This one. Number 3, Keira Knightley. 2003.
Gorgeous lady.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, that's a pick.
The Curse of the Black Pearl.
That's a pick right there.
So she's in this was the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which was a huge success. I think probably her breakout role, she might have had one bigger one just before that. But she just absolutely, like, drop dead gorgeous. Kicks ass in this movie as well. So she's the best of both worlds.
Kicks ass. Yeah.
She's got, like, just the cheekbones, the whole package. The whole package. Absolutely gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
The director, Gore Verbinski, I believe was his name, did a wonderful job accenting her best features and putting her in situations to succeed, as we like to say. Absolutely gorgeous. And she's won, I believe she's won an Academy Award. She's been up for a couple, I think. She's got the looks. She's got the acting pedigree. She's been around for a while now. So she was born in 1985, which puts her, 35, 36 right now. And she looks the exact same as she did.
Oh, yeah.
There was definitely a career in modeling for her if the acting thing never worked. I actually think she did do some modeling at some point, but
fun fact for you real quick, to go through her IMDb real quick, just her number one movie.
I think Pride and Prejudice, right?
Yep,
what year was that?
That's 2005.
Okay, 05.
2 years later. But she's dressed as an older lady at the time, or at least from the older ages.
Yeah, she wasn't really
They didn't make her, like you said, they don't bring out the assets and whatnot.
Yeah.
So,
the sex appeal of...
Dude, what a pick, by the
movie.
way. Because that's one that it wouldn't make my list just because for me, I just expect it a little different. But that's one for sure for me that's a good one. That's a really good one that I didn't think of. But then she's in Love Actually, which is, trust me, I've watched that movie because women make you watch movies. But then Star Wars Episode 1 she's in. She's the second highest paid person on there behind Natalie Portman.
Good for her.
And she's Sabe. Which, sorry, I haven't watched Star Wars in a while, so I won't know who that technically is, and I'll have to rewatch it. But I'm thinking, is that her mom? I think it could be her mom. She could be Natalie Portman's mom in that movie. She could be Natalie Portman's mom, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yes, that's a great pick, dude. I'm proud of that pick. Which, actually, it's cool how these go together, because my third pick, I would put this lady almost in the same tier. Well, I mean, for me, she's higher, clearly. But, it's just where... Because this is another thing I really want. I wrote it down earlier, and I wanted to talk about this as well. Because it used to be, all right, my list for me, as you grow as a man, you have different, standards and different goals and whatever that you want out of women. And you go, the more people you hang out with, the more your goals change and whatnot. You see good things out of other women. You see whatever out of other people. They bring all the good things out of you that you want. So, but I did notice over time that I stopped going so much for pure looks and sorry to say it like this, I'm not trying to be a dick, but douchebag area, but big boobs, fat ass, that type of thing. That's
some of the more shallow stuff.
But yeah, because it's almost you learn too, the prettier girls that you're not gonna call necessarily the super fucking drop dead hot ones, like a Megan Fox type area. So this one right here is probably. For me, the definition of that lady. She's so pretty that, I'm wifing her up. Megan Fox, I'm not wifing up. That's something that we're just having fun with, probably. You know what I'm saying? If I had to base it off these wines, that wine, Megan, to bring it like this, yeah, to go back to the wine thing. Megan Fox's 2009 wine, that's something where I'm just having fun with. It's going to be one of those crazy nights you have for whatever, and she's Old Faithful almost. And then 1993's, Kelly Kapowski or whatever, Tiffany, no offense, but she's almost not marrying her, because no offense to her now, I look at it, she's older, not to be mean. But this lady right here is probably, the top three I've married. But this girl right here is just that one that it's not so much off of looks, and it's just more off the roles that she's done. And I went with, shockingly went with this role out of all of them, which isn't her best movie. But 2012, classic wine for me, the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower, Emma Watson, who plays Sam. And man, I mean, clearly, if we had to be honest with ourselves, and me, I should say, Emma Watson, clearly you get introduced at such a young age as Hermione in Harry Potter, which I'm a Harry Potter guy. Yeah. I love Harry Potter. And Emma Watson in those, every single one of those movies just gets, you see her, you watch her from I think they started those roles at 7 years old or 6 years old.
First one came out in 01. So what year was she born?
She was born in 1990, so she's 11 years old.
Yeah.
10 years old.
Think about being 11 years old
so she's 22 in Perks of Being a Wallflower. So I know that you could probably put that around the same time as the last like 3 Harry Potters. But I went with Perks of Being a Wallflower. The movie, honestly, to me, is pretty good. It's definitely not going to win awards or whatever, but it's just like I've never really had to deal with like a suicidal depression in life, but like I think we all grow up like when you're starting to learn yourself and you learn the mental game of life. Like there are times where most people are depressed and whatnot, and this movie follows a kid who's going through some tough things in his life, and he's kind of an outcast or whatever, and he finds Emma Watson and this other guy that plays a gayer role in the movie. Like these three just become a great duo, and or a trio, I should say. And Emma Watson's role in this movie, she's like that like butterfly, that social butterfly that just like can bring the good out of everybody. Mm-hmm. And man, let me tell you, Emma Watson for me, like is like she's not going to be the most gorgeous girl. She's not going to have the biggest boobs. She's not going to look the greatest in a bikini compared to like these, like a Sofia Vergara or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like Marilyn Monroe and all these, or Christina Aguilera, something like that. But she's just so drop dead, just beautiful to me, like pretty. Like it would be one of those girls you just see and you're like, wow, like let's just get lost in each other's eyes for like that's how, like, not to be funny, but that's how I feel with Emma Watson.
Hey, that's a connection.
She's always moved me like that in any movie, seriously. So I went with Perks of Being a Wallflower because too she had shorter hair in that movie, and she pulls off short hair, and a girl that can pull off short hair, you're winning. You're winning. Let me tell you what. So I first not to go crazy into the description, but clearly passionate about Emma Watson. And do you want to know a fun fact? Funny fact, actually, because I'll go into the honorable mentions because this is the fun fact. Emma Watson was one of these ones, like until yesterday when I sat again and like looked at my list and kind of went over it, because I had my list done a couple of days ago, probably like a week ago, like we were talking about, and I'm happy I like re-advised it and like went through it again because I completely forgot about Emma Watson until yesterday, and I don't even know what happened. It was just because I thought about some today as well, where I was like, wow, that girl could be on there. Like, let me think about it. Mm-hmm. And so I actually, first honorable mention, this is who actually, not the place that she like got taken, but she was taken off the top 5 because of this reason. And this wine, first honorable mention for me, 2017 classic. And this is actually the only one that I have that isn't from a movie performance or something like that. Okay. It's actually from a Grammy Awards of 2017. We're going with Demi Lovato. Oh, who good pick. Good pick. Demi Lovato, so you start off in Disney. Clearly I watched her in all the Disney shows where she comes out that girl that's like, because no offense, like I'm even one of those people that you grow up, I definitely like a late bloomer type thing, I guess I should say. Like, because I don't think I changed much, but I just started taking care of myself more. But like, she was growing up as a younger like teenager with like chunky cheeks. She had the gap teeth, so it's like she wasn't like the prettiest of pretty, but like definitely pretty enough to be on Disney. Mm-hmm. But like, you got her compared to like a Selena Gomez and Miley Cyrus at the time. You're like, ah. And then this girl out of nowhere takes a break from Disney, starts singing. You don't see her as much, and then she comes out like, holy crap! Like, where'd you come from? So
kind of reinvents yourself.
Yeah, right? And so I'm not trying to hate on her either. I wanted to go with like a 2018, 2019 like hybrid wine with her, but she did kind of because we all know she went through like her drug problem, and she went through like relapse and whatnot. So she gained weight pretty heavy, and like she lost it now. But she's got tattoos and stuff, and she got a full sleeve that she didn't technically have in 2017. But if she had 2017's Grammy Award, like just figure and just beauty, like because if you look it up, the 2017 Grammy Award, Demi Lovato, she's got this gold dress on, and just the way they do her hair too, like it's just super pretty to me. And if she did have that sleeve, I might not have a heart right now. I might have already died because that's how gorgeous that woman is. So Demi Lovato, I know you like your athletes that are way bigger and way stronger and way athletic than me, but hit me up, girl. I got a beard, so it's decent. And I love you. So, but yeah, any of them. She changed her outfit a couple of times actually, but it's this gold one. Yeah, it's that one right there. Like the tannish one. It's got the open chest too, which I mean it's no fair to us guys, but good lord, the hair over to the side, long, probably extensions. Like let's be real, but sheesh, girl, I'm a brunette guy by the way, if you didn't know. So, bam.
And see, I lean more blonde, And like you said, when you go through this list, you kind of, although if I had to go back through here and see how many my blonde to brunette ratio, my beloved fiance, she is a blonde.
I have a beloved fucking number 2 that is phenomenal. That's Blondie, but I'm not gonna take it away yet. But because you're up for your honorable mention.
Honorable mention. Okay, I have 2 of them.
Yeah, because you go with one, and then I'll throw out another one. And you throw
My first honorable mention, and this is one we kind of talk about the different stages you are in life. This was a young lady that I actually fell in love with.
I think I know where you're coming from, boy.
But I did not. It wasn't. There was nothing sexual behind it. I just
know this one.
Just big crush. I wasn't at that point in my life. I mean, the twig and berries still were empty. I still had no peach fuzz.
The berries probably haven't.
Nothing. I had nothing going on down there yet. So I wasn't aware of women in that capacity. 1996. Forgive me if I mispronounce the last name. Dominique Massiano.
Wow.
1996. USA Olympic gold medalist. She was on the Olympic gymnastic team. 1996. Dominique Massiano. Now, as I was doing a little bit of research, this is the summer of 1996, like August 96. Every night, watching the Olympics with the family and everything like this, just had a big crush on her. I remember family members like gathering around the TV to watch me watch her because I was so just enamored with her.
Yeah.
And you think the Olympics is on for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So she was, and even how long the gymnastics is on, she was probably in my life for a couple hours.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But obviously they win the gold medal, their sensation, blow up for a few months, everything like that. So I'm doing a little bit of research with this.
Wow. I like it.
She lives in Ohio. She lives in Cleveland. So we were talking earlier about there's no chance, wait, but I was reading this. I was like, But I know I just mentioned it. I have a fiance I love very much, Maggie, if you're out there. So I am off the market.
Yeah, definitely off the market.
But if Maggie wouldn't have come in and changed my life in another life.
Cavs game 2022, you're telling me right now? What's up, girl?
So she lives. Yeah, she has a gymnastics. She has a gymnastics studio in Medina, which from where we're sitting right now is maybe 30, 40 minutes away.
We pour concrete in Medina tomorrow.
There you go.
What's up, Medina Supply?
Yep.
Yeah, Jesus, dude. Yeah, let me get a whim's little look of it.
Now, once again, I was a minor. She was a minor at the time.
I get it though.
I think she would have been like 14 or 15 at the time. I was like 9.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, just had a huge crush. She had the bangs, which was very 90s.
The bang for
very 90s. But that's Dominique Massiano, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
All right. To speak
first, I'm gonna mention.
I like that one a lot, and I'll go with a bang selection here, with the bang flopping. Also, identically. All right. First of all, 1996 was that the Dream Team?
Basketball. Basketball is 92. Was the Dream
92,
Team.
96 was
the This was the gymnastics Dream Team.
Well,
if you didn't know that, I'm just making that up.
I'm guessing. But so this is also 1996 honorable mention.
Okay.
So that's pretty wild how this is working out. Okay. That's 2 now for the same year that we named. I'm going
Dennis Rodman when he wore the wedding dress.
Yeah.
No, that was what I'm going
with. Actually, Carmen Electra with him could have been a pick.
Yeah, she kind of stole the show in The Last Dance.
She really did.
I think a lot of the younger generation, I was fortunate enough to know who she was and know that
not another teen
Absolute
movie.
Smoke Show.
Not another teen movie. I think really showed me. I think she's in that.
She got her boobs stabbed and they pull out the
that was she's so fine though. But
sorry, I didn't mean to grab.
So anyway, but 96. It could have been a pick. But not Dennis Rodman. So we're going with season 3. I had the episode and everything ready. So season 3, episode 21 of The Greatest Show on Earth. That's the episode name of Boy Meets World. Danielle Fishel, who plays Topanga Lawrence, and this one was tough for me because if I really wanted, which I should have been honest with myself now that I sit here and say this, it would have been an earlier pick for me, just because of the fact that I loved her curly hair a lot. I like curly hair, but so 1996 is more like this area where she's with the short. She cuts her hair, it's shorter, and there's times she lets it go to the bangs. But she's just a little more. It's finally where her and Corey Matthews are finally old enough. She goes away to Florida, to Disney World to see, like, just to, pursue her life. And he chases her. And they have this scene where they meet. It's iconic, but they have the scene where they meet in front of the little water fountain thing, and then they kiss for the first time that you really see on the show. Like, and they say each other, they love each other.
Yep.
One of the great, man. She's so damn beautiful. Like, especially as a little kid, like, you're like, this girl, because that's the one. This is the only one that I fucked up and didn't get her age. I'm sorry, but I know she was probably like at least 17 or something, probably at that rate. But she even had like just the tan skin. Like, because she's not like she can get that dark, but she, like, when she gets dark enough, and it's just wow. Topanga Lawrence, you and Kelly Kapowski are the top. We're my number two, like top two of all time growing up, at least. Like, as a little kid, wow. Topanga Lawrence.
And Danielle Fishel. I never knew that was her name. She's always going to be Topanga. Like, that's one of those. Yeah. She probably struggled with this later in her career.
Even Tiffani Thiessen.
Yeah.
Kelly Kapowski, that's all you know.
Like, that was probably a challenge for her to shed that.
Oh, yeah.
Like, some actors and actresses face that, where it's like they are so well known as that. She was born May 5th, 1981. So she would have been
15. She's 15. Yeah. So, okay. So, at that time, I'm 3 years old. So, okay. So, we're good. But
you didn't watch that live.
Here's the cool part, too, though, that I can say that just from being able to say it like this, Topanga Lawrence, another reason I was always like super like attracted to her as well. After you watch her so much and you get through her looks finally, like just the way they have her portrayed in that role, she's just so caring. And like, let's be real, Corey Matthews is not the best looking person in the world. So the fact that she's even with him, like,
there's some depth.
It's like, wow, you see him for his Brillo head. She calls him a Brillo head all the time because he's curly head. So it's like, she sees him for just the little kid that he is, and that doesn't care about if he's the best looking one.
They nailed the whole entire like girl next door.
She's the greatest girl next door. Could you imagine?
I was always a Boy Meets World guy. I like you said, Saved by the Bell. It's not that I didn't like it. I just, for whatever reason, I didn't watch it a whole lot. I was always a Boy Meets World guy, and I mean, if you interview any American boy that grew up in the 90s and the early 2000s, I mean, it's got to be like a 97% approval rating for Topanga, right?
Yeah. Like 98.9.
It's like the writers of that show and her as an actress just absolutely nailed what the teenage male American psychology, what they were looking for.
It's phenomenal. And it's actually cool that you think of that, because you remind me of like Eric Matthews, and then Dylan, your younger brother, would remind me of Corey a little bit. So I can see where you're probably, if you rewatched it now, because I got Disney Plus. I bought Disney Plus a couple years ago when they first came out, and that's the first thing I watched was all 9 seasons of Boy Meets World, and it was cool to watch them all grow up. And I'm not trying to like get too much into Boy Meets World, but just a little breakdown. It makes me laugh how they make Eric Matthews like you growing up, and he's like that cool older brother that's just like awesome and can't do anything wrong, and then he becomes dumb as hell. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. That was one of my nitpicks, but this isn't a rewatchable. It's nitpicking good old Boy Meets World. But yes, that was mine. So here's your number 2.
Just look at how, I mean, to piggyback off that real quick, look at 90s nostalgia right now.
I mean, if you guys could see my shorts right now.
No, and we talk about walking in. I mean, you're wearing these sick Nike windbreaker shorts, like
purple and blue.
Yeah, like it's
a twisty treat. Like,
how many corporations and companies and brands are profiting off of
Stranger Things, like 80s even.
Absolutely. They nailed. I didn't think the last season of Stranger Things was that great, but they nailed the whole entire, like, now this is a little before my time, but I got a little bit of it being a late 80s baby, but like the 80s mall, like that was a thing.
I think of the bike riding, like as little kids, you got the gang of like, because you knew I grew up I got fortunate with my childhood, at least growing up in a little neighborhood full of kids my age. Yeah. So we were always on the bikes together. So that was, it's nostalgic as fun.
Yeah. Look at we just derailed for like 3 minutes talking about.
Hey, I don't care. This is all fun.
Nostalgia. But that's the point, right? Is it sells. All right. So my second honorable mention, and my last honorable mention is Rosario Dawson. Do you know who Rosario Dawson is? Yeah. Okay. I like that. I'm going Rosario Dawson 2005. Now, Rosario Dawson, obviously gorgeous, obviously very talented. Cool. I believe she's directed. I know she's a producer, political activist, much more than just what we've seen on the screen of her. Smart lady. I had 2005 Rosario Dawson. Now, it's kind of a weird little I'll explain how I got to this. She had a 3-year run from 04 to 06, so I went right in the middle of 05.
Okay, I like it.
Where I kind of, like, this was like, for whatever reason, like you said, the movies in this range that where she connected with me and she really got on my radar, by no means are these amazing movies.
Yeah,
They appealed to me. 2004, she does Alexander.
Phenomenal movie.
Historical, biopic. I think it could have been a lot more. I know the critics didn't absolutely love it, but she was kind of like the one of the love interests in that film.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm a sucker for anything history related. So completely different role there. Super serious historical drama. 2005, she's in Sin City.
Oh,
I don't know if you. Yeah. That was like one of the first kind of abstract. It was a Frank Miller graphic novel, I believe. Ever go back and watch that movie? It's just, I think that kind of led to like your 300s, your Watchmen, your stuff like that. The movies that are just filmed a little bit different. It was black and white, but some scenes had color. Loved her role in that. And in 2006, not a movie many people are going to remember, but she was hilarious in this, was Clerks 2.
I love Clerks 2.
Clerks, hilarious movie. I love Kevin Smith, Jay and Silent Bob, obviously.
Kevin Smith is a icon.
Yeah, absolute icon. But you go Sin City's kind of like that gritty crime. Clerks 2 is just a goofy kind of guys comedy, really making fun. Dick jokes, things like that. Yeah. But she was great in every single one. Obviously gorgeous, but she has the acting chops. So she definitely came up. She was an honorable mention for me. Rosario Dawson at 5.
That's a good pick. You might have to pull her up real quick, though, just so I can see what
Rosario Dawson. Okay.
05 or something. I need to.
All right.
Because I haven't watched Sin City in a while. But how about
and that's one I haven't watched either in a while, but I need to.
How about this? This is where we make the switch up here. I'll lead off with number 4. Since you just led off with the honorable mentions, we'll switch it up. You get number 1. So we'll go with number 4, which is my number 2 of all time. That this one hasn't changed. I can truly say that this woman, no matter how my list has changed throughout the years, especially I haven't kept a list like actually filled out on that, but like just over the years that you've talked with your friends, the movies you've seen and whatever. This girl has always been one that just ever since I've seen her, specifically in this role where I get introduced to her, it's never changed, and I don't think it ever will. And this is shouts out to your Blondie love. Mm-hmm. This is my one Blondie that, she's number 2 of all time, and I don't take that lightly. So I put a lot of effort into the top 2, and this is a 2012 classic. The movie's not a classic, but the wine is. This might not be the top seller. It might not be your, the Marilyn Monroes out there. Like I'm trying to think of like just the general like most gorgeous women that people think of. Like the Gail Gadots out there, who I might be Gail Gadot on. So sorry to play on words, but so I go with the 2012 classic Rock of Ages movie. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Tom Cruise makes an appearance.
I have not seen that movie. No.
Who, if this is a rewatchable, he's getting the Deion Waiters award. Like he goes all out on it. Like, okay. Even though he's a star role, but he just goes out too much on it. Tom Cruise. If you guys want to see Tom Cruise shoot for a Grammy or whatever, not Grammy, but the Oscar or whatever, you want to see him shoot for something that's not even a good movie, watch this because he goes all out in it. But
was he better in that than he was in Tropic Thunder?
Yeah, way better. I'd say it. Like he probably tries harder in Tropic Thunder, but it's close. But he actually the movie's not good. It's a musical. Rock of Ages is a musical, 80s musical, like we were talking about. I do love the music because I love rock and roll and whatever. But she plays Sherry Christian in Rock of Ages. Julianne Hough is my number 2 of all time, and she was born in 1988. So in this movie, she was 24 years old. And
nice.
So this is the only other one that can even be argued right now. For being in that list is her role in Safe Haven, which is a movie that came out like maybe a year or 2 after this one when she kind of broke on the scene. And Safe Haven, your classic love movie by I always forget something Sparks or George.
Was it Nicholas Sparks?
Nicholas Sparks, yeah, definitely Nicholas Sparks.
So like sappy.
Yeah, the movie's it's okay. It's not the greatest, but it's like it's definitely worth a watch, especially if you're a man and you're watching with your girl. It's worth a watch. But she cuts her hair. And she doesn't have it's shorter and it is nice. Don't get me wrong, but just the way that they have Julianne. Like, look up Julianne Hough and Rock of Ages, just so you can see, because they got they got her hair, like, bunch of hairspray in that thing, like, curled up. It's not moving. She's dressed up in the short jean shorts. She's got the rocker top on, so she's probably got, like, the little fishnet going, the fishnet roll with the, like, the black, like, cut-off shirt that's a cut-up. Yeah. Gorgeous, dude. Like, there's a couple scenes where they, like, really show her hair, like, just flowing in the wind. Yeah, it's phenomenal. She's just gorgeous, and I had to go with that one because, like, even though right now she's probably just as gorgeous, if not more, but she just got married, so that's a sad thing. But
off the market.
Yeah, but she actually took Hayden Panettiere's spot in my like, list from back in the day, because Hayden Panettiere and, like, all the Bring It Ons, wow. That was my Blondie, but then Julianne Hough came in and stole it. So
okay,
that's 2012 classic for me. Number 2, Julianne Hough. Thank you so much.
2012.
So that'd be number 4. I guess that'd be our number 4.
You know what I just realized is we were talking about, like, you're more of a brunette, I'm more of a blonde. I only have one blonde in my entire life.
I was gonna say
so. Interesting. All right, so that was your number 2.
It's my number 2.
My number 2, and like we talked about, there's no surprises here. You can kind of see into the horny teenage mind.
Yes, sir.
And this was probably right, like, when I was in the cusp of puberty, where I was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of figuring out what's going on, like, why my body's changing, why am I looking at girls this way.
Yeah.
I think this was kind of right at the beginning of that, but very much probably, like, this one for me is probably Topanga for You, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Number 2, and I think fitting that we call this, like, the vintage wine, because she is another one. I mean, every woman on this list pretty much is aged like a fine wine.
Yes.
But this one especially.
Wow.
1998. Jennifer Love-Hewitt.
Oh, Jennifer Love-Hewitt. Wow.
All right. Now,
wow.
I'm going to read this for you. This is going to sound like a Rewatchables podcast here for a second.
IMDb. If you're reading our IMDb list this year, these couple years, she's in a lot of it.
Okay, no, but I didn't realize, like, she was it. Like, when you talk now at the time, she is 19 years old. Keep this in mind, 19 years old. Okay.
Wow.
Now, and I was absolutely infatuated with her. Absolutely infatuated. At the time, I'm 10, 11 years old. So again, it goes back to, like, there's that part of your brain that's like, there's a chance.
Yeah,
because she really absolutely drop dead gorgeous, but really nails, like, the sweet, innocent girl next door. Not like you could walk up and talk to her, and you're gonna be taken back by her beauty, obviously. But
what a pick, dude!
But she doesn't strike you as the kind of person that would completely, like, just shut you down if you went up and
she's
super and tried talking to her. So I want to, like, listen to her run. Okay, of this couple of years.
I can't wait.
Party of Five, which I think going back, I don't think it's a show that people are, like, talking about. Man, you know what show was great? Nobody ever talks about was Party of Five. But it was on for 4 years, 1995 to 1999.
Yeah.
So it had a decent run, and that's like your teen dramedy type show. Yeah. Honestly, that wasn't really. I don't think it was that role specifically that made me kind of fall for it. But I did watch it, even though the time was probably over my head. Okay, 95 through 99, she has Party of Five. So she's on your TV every week with a new episode on Fox.
Oh, yeah.
1997, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yep.
Huge slasher movie. She was the final girl, right?
Yeah.
A role every female aspires for. I don't know if every female does, but I mean, that's the it role to have in a horror and a slasher movie. So she does that.
She's on the poster. She's on the poster.
Yeah. The next one is probably the one that, like, really made me, like, this is the woman of my dreams for this role. And it's going to seem kind of odd. I think 1998, Can't Hardly Wait.
Wow.
Can't Hardly Wait, 1998, like, your basic party high school movie, with the high school party at the house with the parents are away, the rich kids, that is never like any party ever is in real life or any high school party ever. No. But she is, like, the girl, she's the center of attention and everything. Fell in love with her in that movie. So she does that movie in 1998. Same year, sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. 1 year later, I didn't realize that was 1 year apart. And then, cherry on top, I didn't remember this. She was in an episode of Boy Meets World 1998.
Yeah, I remember that. Heck yeah. I remember it for sure.
Talk about that.
Because I just watched it a couple years ago, so I remember it. But yeah.
Talk about that couple years. I mean, just being on absolute fire.
I like how our lists are like kind of not interchanging like the person, but like they've made cameos on shows that we're talking about. That's cool.
Yeah. So 1998, Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Jeez, wow.
Are you? I don't know what to say.
Are you ready for this comp though? Here's a comp for you. As soon as you said it, it reminded me of it, and I'm actually kind of proud of this one. She's always reminded me from the same time too. Her and Freddie Prinze Jr. were like just opposite sex. Like they were the same. They're the same. You know what I'm saying? Like for women right now, if they were doing this list, I would not be shocked at all. Freddie Prinze Jr. was on that list because Freddie Prinze Jr. was a dog.
Oh, he was
because they did a
same
movie,
time frame.
What baseball movie? I thought they did a baseball. movie. Because he played some pitch because this actually I think was talked about because he didn't know how to play baseball or something, and they had to make him look good at baseball.
He was a pitcher or something, and the way they cut it to try to make it look like he was really throwing some.
You could tell he couldn't throw, but I can't remember the baseball movie. But I think she was the girl on it. But if not, it just reminds me of it though, like because Freddie Prinze Jr. was because they were both, and I Know What You Did last summer or whatever. So it was just they always remind me of each other. But dude, that's a phenomenal pick. I'm proud of that one.
Summer Catch.
That's
it,
because I just watched
2001
2 years ago for like the third time already. Yeah. I actually like that movie. Not mad at it.
I mean, let's talk about that though. Like you're saying, there's some writer or some movie executive. They're pitching this idea like, hey, Freddie Prinze Jr. Let's put him in baseball tights.
I don't think it works. It doesn't work without Freddie Prinze Jr. That movie does not work without Freddie Prinze unless you get like a Robert Downey Jr. or something. But he's not.
He was like the teen heartthrob, and Jennifer Love Hewitt definitely was right there as one of those.
That's they almost
his counterparts.
Me. So
Sarah Michelle Gellar probably deserves to be mentioned that conversation too. Yeah.
Well, damn, dude, now you almost got me. Like,
Ryan Phillippe.
I'm right there with you too. So this number one, I would not be. You'll know the movie.
Okay.
You will not know who this lady is when I say it. So I'm gonna go with a 2006. This is my number one of all time. Number two on our list.
Okay.
And this one, honestly, is not even close. I can't lie to you. This girl stands out to me so much, and it's a mix of looks. It's a mix of everything. I don't know what it is. Just the way that you look at somebody and you're like, wow, I know them already. And this is 2006. Fast and the Furious, little spin-off, Tokyo Drift.
Okay.
She plays Neela. Nathalie Kelley, who is the number one. She's the number one like girl in the movie. She's supposed to be playing like a Japanese girl, but she's more like a Hawaiian look. But she's born in 1984. She's 22 in this movie, and it's the mix of the jawline, just the way she stares at the camera because they got her like looking real like. Dude, I'm telling you right now, when you pull this lady up, because like here's the other thing too. She so that's pretty much her only role, and she just now came back into acting.
I was gonna say I don't remember her.
She's in a pretty famous show right now, and she actually looks more gorgeous than she does in Tokyo Drift because she's got short hair, but she's like dyed it a tad. But this woman, let me tell you what, dude, Tokyo Drift, Nathalie Kelley, that girl, fool. You want to talk about somebody that I would probably, even if I was about to get married to somebody, and she looked over my way one time and was like, hey, like, let's just go to the beach one time or something. Let's run away. There's a strong possibility I didn't show up to my wedding because I went to a beach with that lady. I'm not even joking. Like, she's phenomenal. And if you need help looking it up, I can get it going for you. But, yeah, Nathalie Kelley, Tokyo Drift. And if you guys don't know who that is, and you guys have all seen Tokyo Drift, so I get it, but if you don't know who it is, just do yourself a favor and just Google it up. Because, oh my goodness, dude.
Yep.
Woo! She's, like, her smile, like she's got that, like, extra, so I've learned this too over the last couple of years or whatever, now that we have all this content and all this stuff making out, and everybody's from Los Angeles, and, like, Dr. Pimple Popper, and, like, the, who like clearly pops pimples all the time, and like the ones that do like the plastic surgery. I was listening
botched.
I was listening to a couple of them talk, and they said every single one of those girls in Hollywood had they do the cheek fillers and the lip fillers and stuff. Yeah. So I think she's natural. That's why she's like super gorgeous to me, and she hasn't been in that many roles that I don't think she would actually get cheek fillers. But she's got them cheeks on her that just the extra wide. She's got the dimples like you said. she's like a little. She's got that foreign look to her, so it's like it's just I don't know.
Kind of exotic. Yeah.
And I did follow her there for a while because like she's gorgeous to me. Like I graduated high school and following her, and like that. You want to talk about somebody you thought you had a chance with, you could have. At the time when I was following her, I think she had like 1,000 followers. I'm not joking, like because she hasn't acted so long, and like I was probably following her like 2013. So she took so much time off acting, and she was like a hippie, like would just like post yoga poses and that type of girl, like real like that, like hippie earthy girl.
Yeah,
and it almost like turned me on more to her. But,
so look at her IMDb. Tokyo Drift, first movie in 2006. Doesn't do another one until 2008, a movie called Loaded.
Didn't even watch it.
The only other movie on here that really, she was on one episode of CSI. 2011, Take Me Home Tonight. That was funny.
She was in that? I watched that movie.
Remember that.
And I don't even remember it. Trust me. I would remember it if I seen it. She's in a really big, or not a big show, but she's in something.
Vampire Diaries. Looks like she was on that for a couple years.
Wow.
Yeah, but
still not the like biggest name. She's not the A-list actor out there, but wow, or actress, I should say. But wow, that lady, just that Tokyo Drift alone. Every single time I watch it, because Tokyo Drift probably my most rewatched Fast and Furious movie. Not to get into like talking about movies, because that would be a whole other fun spin-off of like what movie out of like actual sagas and stuff is your favorite one. That would be fun. That would be fun. But that Tokyo Drift is probably like without Paul Walker and Vin Diesel in one, even though Vin Diesel makes the cameo at the end, but without them being the main character, yeah, that's my easily favorite rewatchable just because of her, really. So, boom. Thank you, Nathalie Kelley.
So just one movie role.
That's it. Just one movie role. There's not even like, because all of my other ones, like I could have picked between 3 roles. It's like give and take pretty much. And this girl, number one, only one role. There's nothing else. She's just wow. Thank you. And at the time, I'm 13. So yeah, wow, changed a man's life.
Fitting that you're number one, because my number one pretty much the exact same thing. It was this one role where this is where she burst onto the scene for me. Now she had done other things before this, but this was the role. Whenever you say this actress's name, this is it for me, and it always will be. And it's kind of funny what she played this role. But my number one, Olivia Wilde, 2010.
Yep, I already know.
2010 Tron Legacy.
Let's go.
So the funny thing is, she technically doesn't play a human in that movie.
So a robot or whatever.
She's like an AI in a simulated world that is created by Kevin Flynn. Correct.
If anything, she's a special, like she's very special made robot.
But
she's not the average robot.
But she's got the natural view. She got the cheekbones. It's the eyes. It's the eyes for me.
Yeah, the eyes, the cheeks again. Yeah. Talking about it, somebody with cheeks.
Yeah.
Olivia Wilde. Oh, I'm not talking about cheeks. I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm talking like, because I'm not gonna lie. I'm a man. I'll call ass some cheeks. So, but I'm talking facial structure. Like she's a gorgeous woman. Oh.
I mean, it didn't hurt. Obviously, that the entire movie she's in like a skin tight
latex
suit. Latex suit.
And the Tron suits are so cool.
Yeah, but
her hair.
And that movie, I think, an incredibly underrated movie, which I absolutely loved. Very stylistic, futuristic vibe to it. Really great movie to see when 3D was a big thing. Definitely a movie to be experienced if you have a good big TV and nice surround sound. But Olivia Wilde in that movie, I think kind of just what you mentioned with your last one, where it's just like you just saw her and just for whatever reason, you're like, yep. Now again, at this point, I think this is one of my oldest ones. 2010, this week comes out. I'm like 22, 23 years old. I'm kind of at that point where I realize, I never.
People are having kids and getting married.
Yeah.
Easily.
So you're probably never going to meet her. Maybe I'll be lucky enough to meet her sometime. But she's at a whole other stratosphere, a whole way out of my league, just like every other person on our list. But for whatever reason, it was Olivia Wilde in 2010. Now, she had done some other things. Let's look at her IMDb here. I know she's directed some things, obviously political activism, things like that. But for me, it was always that 2006 Alpha Dog with JT.
That's one of my favorite movies.
I think that's a highly respected movie amongst
Alpha Dog
our age group.
A really good movie. It's definitely.
She's credited in The Girl Next Door in 2004. Remember the movie with Emil Hirsch where it's the porn star or something?
Yeah, I know. I need to rewatch that.
Or something like that. I need to go back and watch that.
Same with Alpha Dog. I didn't know Olivia Wilde was in that.
2010, Tron Legacy, Cowboys and Aliens in 2011.
I knew she was in that, which is a terrible movie.
In Time with JT again.
JT, that's a really good movie.
She was on Saturday Night Live. She was on House. What else? She was Incredible Burt Wonderstone.
She was on Jason Sudeikis for a long time.
She was married to Jason Sudeikis.
Didn't she just leave him?
Yeah, they were together for a while. I think they might have had one, maybe two kids together.
So not to be funny here, but that's another like factor because I'm a big Olivia Wilde fan as well. Mm-hmm. That's another factor on her that kind of gives you points because like you kind of forget how old she is too at the same time. She actually is a little older, or at least she's aging. You know what I'm saying? So like you can tell she's getting older. Mm-hmm. But like that's the thing. Like out of all these guys, she could pick the NBA player, the Ryan Reynolds out there, whatever. Mm-hmm. She goes with that average Jason Sudeikis. So I'm not saying average. I'm just saying average of looking, where he's not going to be playing your Captain America role.
Right.
He's just super funny and really fucking funny. But yeah, and let's think real quick. That's another one we could throw in there. But for Jennifer Aniston, he's in with her. We Are the Millers. Like the dude, they put women around that guy because he's just so funny. But and then to go back to your specific wine as well, by the way, for your 2010 Olivia Wilde, that movie Tron is one of my favorites of all time. But even like because there's another whole factor as well. Where like a lot of these girls, like I said, with like the Topanga Lawrence for a thing, and like even Neela from Fast Furious Tokyo Drift, Nathalie Kelley, like their man in the show, like their co-part, is like not the prettiest like that. Like they don't look good as a couple. Mm-hmm. Like no offense to the dude who plays the main role in Tokyo Drift, but ugly ass dude. He was in Friday Night Lights, like just an ugly guy. Yeah. He was receding hairline, nothing like he doesn't control it, but compared to like we just said, and the dude that's I forget the guy's name. Who's the head?
Garrett Hudlin.
That's it. Yeah. Who actually he's been in quite a bit of good movies, but he almost kind of tailed off a little bit. In my opinion, I haven't watched many things in him lately, but I like them together. I thought they looked like a pretty dope scene. And of course, you get attached to him because he's the main character in Tron, and you're sitting there pretty much at the edge of your seat every single time you watch it. Like, dude, I'm on his back. Like, let's go. Let's see you do it. So.
Tron Legacy, she plays Cora.
One of my favorite movies. I can't even lie. It's probably that and Independence Day with Will Smith are my top two most rewatched movies ever. Like it's the one I put on when I'm going to bed. Like they're easily the two that I've seen the most. So
amazing soundtrack too by Daft Punk. Amazing soundtrack.
See, the cool thing about this list too is that we would. And I think every time we would film this, I think we would come up with like a new 10. Like we probably like interact, like or interchange a couple. And real quick before we're completely done with this, because I really like our list. I just wanted to shout out two more, just two more honorable mentions that I was really fighting with because I was upset with myself that in the top 5. I'm trying to think of the best way to word this without being insensitive, but I love my beautiful black women. You know what I'm saying? I like the darker skinned ladies, so I'm really upset that I didn't have any in my top 5. And the two that I were against, like that I were going with, was 2003 Bad Boys 2 Gabrielle Union.
Wow.
Oh, Gabrielle Union, who, by the way, in that movie,
congratulations, D-Wade.
31 years old in that movie, by the way, and she looked like she's 20. Like, stop it. And she looks the same now, and she's 54, whatever the hell it is. 72, or whatever. Whatever. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then 2012. This one was tough because I have so many. This wine, I have so many favorite flavors that I love, and I had to pick one. And it probably went with the worst movie out of all of them, but it was 2012's Think Like a Man's Megan Good. Megan Good is my girl.
I love that you said that.
Anchorman 2, she's not the prettiest in that movie because she's like they dress her a little older. They make her look older, because they do makeup on her and stuff to make her look older. Because I watched that and I was like, she's not that old. Why are they making her do that? But she's gorgeous, dude.
That's so funny. I love that you said that because she very nearly made my list for a different movie. That she kind of whatever movie she really stuck out to me for the first time was Waist Deep.
I wrote that down. I had
I believe like 05, 06 range.
She
was in that with Tyrese.
Yeah, I had Waist Deep
just absolutely naturally.
There were 4.
Drop Dead Gorgeous.
She had the most wines that had a chance to be on the list, and sadly, she's 0 for 4. But I went Think Like a Man in 2012. Roll Bounce in 05, because that's where I first met her with Lil Bow Wow or whatever. Waist Deep, like you said, and then Stomp the Yard, which is a year later in 07. You cannot go wrong with any of them. Megan Good is. And then there's that one, like, Biker Boys or something like that, that she's, but a little younger.
Yeah.
So I went with my favorite. And the reason that I went with the one with Think Like a Man, even though it's not even on my list, so I should say it like that, but the reason that I picked that out of all of them was just because she does really well with her short hair, and she rocks short hair, and she's almost like, you can tell she's almost like fitting her body more. So, but
she's one of those, like a couple of the, obviously every woman we talked about here is gorgeous in their own way.
Every single one.
They're going to turn heads no matter where they go. But there are some women out there, Megan Good is definitely one of them, that you look at and you're like, it's almost frustrating just how good looking they are. It's hard to believe. We talk about this like with athletes, like we're the same species as them. Like they're the same.
Doesn't even make sense.
Like that's a human being too.
To even put it,
we share the earth with someone that is that freakishly good looking is.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
She's
even go in our favor. Like we like hip hop a lot. Like how many Megan Good lines are out there?
Oh yeah.
Megan Good is definitely universally known as like. And then the other one too, I almost threw in there. It's more mixed skin, but Paula Patton. She almost got picked for 2013's Baggage Claim. Okay. But only take on her is I feel like she's like. I feel bad for even saying this. Can't believe it's making it on the pod. But thank God it's so late into it, so nobody's probably listening to it anyway. She's almost like too manly of her features. Like she's got really fucking strong hands. I noticed that in the movie where she's got like NBA hands, where you're like, they're throwing ball with basketball. Get a basketball in this bitch's hand. So then. And the fact that I just feel bad for her because she married Robin Thicke, and Robin Thicke's a dick. If you imagine being Robin Thicke, you're that good of a singer, you get all these girls, and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot I was married to Paula Patton, but I went and slept with somebody else because I don't care about her. So
that's a tough look.
Screw you, Robin Thicke. Screw you and your music.
That's a tough look.
Paula Patton, are you joking me? Yeah. But yeah, so I had a lot, and then do you have any more that you just like?
No, I'm good. You want to go back through it and recap?
Real quick. So I just had a list that I wanted to write down of names that like people probably were expecting, or at least like for people like our age. Like I was guessing like the Miley Cyrus would probably make it on a lot of lists just because she was that girl in Hannah Montana. Mm-hmm. Hillary Duff, which I was shocked she didn't make your list because I remember her being one of your like first crushes. Mm-hmm. Like the Selena Gomez is out there. Yeah. Like I said, Marilyn Monroe, Sofia Vergara, whatever. Mm-hmm. She's gorgeous. Britney Spears, like I said, Christina Aguilera. Yeah. There's a bunch. I wrote a bunch down that we could probably could have somehow made it in there. But so yeah, like you said, so number 5 for you, so which would have been number 10. Yep. What you go with that?
My number 5 was Elena Delle Donne.
Yep. And then what year again?
That was 2015.
So 2015. Then my number 5 was 2009's Megan Fox, Transformers 2, which was can't go wrong.
All right, my number 4 was Rashida Jones. 2009. Yeah. Same years.
Yeah, I can't be mad at that. And number 4 was 1993's all of season 4. It doesn't have to be a specific episode, but all of season 4 is Saved by the Bell. Tiffani Thiessen, who everybody else knows is Kelly Kapowski.
All right, my number 3, Keira Knightley from 2003, specifically in the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that pick. You had 2 picks. I was like, wow, hell yeah, out of the park. Then 2012 for me, it was number 3. I should say 2012's Emma Watson for just her role in Perks of Being a Wallflower. Phenomenal.
Mm-hmm. You know, you didn't mention was surprising. Probably my favorite Emma Watson role. I wanted to say this earlier. This Is the End.
It is really, I really.
Where she plays herself, and she was hilarious.
Oh, fucking Emma Watson just.
Oh my god. She pretty much robs the guy.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Fantastic. All right, my number 2. Jennifer Love-Hewitt, 1998.
Wow, perfect pick. That was the other pick. I was just like, wow. All right, so number 2 for me, 2012's Rock of Ages, Julianne Hough.
That's a good one.
Introduction to her, and thank you.
My number 1 was Olivia Wilde, specifically 2010, Tron Legacy.
And real quick, because I know Tokyo Drift, whatever, it could be in there, but Tron's probably the best movie, in my opinion, out of the 10. Whatever out of the
all the movies you mentioned,
8. I think we mentioned 8 movies, probably. I would say, or 7, 6 of them. I guess if TV shows were taken out, I would probably say it's the best one, in my opinion. Just because Tron, I just love that movie.
Love it.
But yeah, then my number 1 is Nathalie Kelley's 2006 performance in Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift.
So. I love that. I don't think I did not see that one coming at all. It's obscure. I love it. That's a good pick.
I swear, I don't think many people and they know her from Tokyo Drift. Like when I say Tokyo Drift to my friends, like, oh, the really gorgeous girl that's in Tokyo Drift. Like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And yeah, luckily I didn't grow up on Game of Thrones. Like, good thing I just watched Game of Thrones last year because there would have been a couple picks from there. But I didn't want to.
I still need to watch it. I've tried twice.
There are two girls in that show that are just absolutely beautiful, and another one. One of them she made it into the Fast and Furious. She's in like number 6 and 7 and 8. I think she's in all of them now. So yeah, she almost got picked on this list. Big girl, gorgeous. But anyway, I don't even know what to call this thing because I'm still working on it all. But this is my YouTube channel, I guess, Stephen Musteris, and thank you, Walt, so much.
Thanks for having
Walter Cerrato, the third on here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was our top 10 Celebrity Crush wine edition, or wine bottle edition, I should say. And we're probably going to be doing a lot of wine bottle edition pods because they're just fun to us. We can do any topic ever. Keep an eye out for re-listenables. It's my little take from Bill Simmons Rewatchables, where they rewatch movies. I just re-listen to my favorite albums. And actually, we can cut this off soon, but I was thinking about an album that's coming up, and it's on its anniversary. But the Carter 3, it could be one that could be you can listen to. I think it's Lil Wayne album. I think it's in 5 days that it's on the 15th. I can't remember what day, but it's one of these days. In 5 days, it's anniversary.
Like 12 years, right? Was it
08. Was it 08? 13 years, yep. So, but anyway, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yep.
And this shit's been fun. Holy shit. Yep. Hour 15. Woo!